One sec, guys. We'll get started here in a sec. Give me a second. Uno momento. We're gonna get started here in a sec, guys. Can y'all hear the music as well? I'm just curious. Dude, I don't know why it's not playing music lately. Shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I'm trying to change the thumbnail real quick. One sec. Yeah, cool. Everyone's doing well. Robo-taxi, dude. I do not give a fuck with the Robo-taxi. It could go well. Could go well. We'll see. That is, I mean, it's gonna be interesting. I'll be paying attention to it, but yeah. You know what it is? I know what it is. Hey, Google, shut the fuck up. Here, Google my kitchen. I know what it is. I know what it is. How am I gonna do this? How am I gonna change this audio? One second. Let me change this audio. I have my camera in a really weird spot. Okay, settings. Audio. How do I do this? I'm trying to think. Because it's my screen that I'm presenting. You get my coffee in a second too. Not gonna lie. Present. Stop that screen real quick. Give me 1 sec. I'm just trying to figure this out really quick. I changed what my primary monitor is, and that's the problem. That's exactly what the problem is, actually. If I share screen. Also share your system audio. It should be playing. Let me see if you hear it now. If you don't hear it now, I don't care. Fuck it. No, still no. I don't care. If not, I don't care. Not that big of a deal. Not that big of a deal. Okay. What's going on, Mr. M? Yeah, last night too, I kind of like woke up for a little bit and was just looking where we were at. You kind of pull back down into 20,400. I see that too. You had that pull back into that level and you kind of bounce right off of it. You almost came into 20,392. I mean, you get those semi fund buyers for 20,400 also, but that's what you're looking for there. So, not a huge surprise. Where is my calendar? Okay, got 3 minutes until CPI. We will see. Also, to you guys not following Twitter, recommend doing so. All right, let me know if it's too loud, so I'll turn it down. All right, I'm gonna get my coffee real quick. All right, let me get my coffee. Let me get a one-way ticket. I've been picked a destination. I'm just trying to catch a train before it has to leave the station. Packing no bags, nothing but the clothes on my back with a cognac. Let me sip it, trying to relax. Red wine up in my glass, plus filet mignon. I got an army right up under me. I'm Genghis Khan. Yeah, it's me against the world. I guess I'll take them on. I might stop and see my girl, but I ain't staying long. What if I'm gone? What the fuck you gon' think then? I told my story, put my life inside this ink pen. Said I'll make a big win. Everybody know me, well, I made a big and everybody phony. So could you call me? I need a cup. No, not of that liquor mixing purple stuff. I could talk my pain, but would it hurt too much? Go ahead and judge me. Hey, costs money, but this love free. Turn up to reality, double cup of lean. Standing on my balcony, looking at the sky, thinking it could all be mine. Okay, we're back. Sorry. Hope everyone is doing good. Hope everyone's a good morning, your way to work, whatever the hell you're doing. Honestly, we look pretty good going into today. I'm not unhappy with it. Dude, obviously CPI needs to come out decent. Like, I don't think there's a world in which it comes out terrible. We'll see, but we'll see. Where's the oil at? I want oil. Yeah, oil, you can see you dipped off your 200, came back down to your level 71.7630. I haven't even changed this level. It's just, yeah, haven't even touched this level in weeks. It's kind of hilarious. What's going on, Josh? Sorry, you know, chat. I missed your comment. I wasn't ignoring you, I promise. Does anybody else score the hot dogs before grilling? It's a good move. I kind of like when they like expand though, the hot dogs. You know what I mean? They kind of like they split. That's how you know they're done. The camera angle makes you look 10 pounds heavier. I don't care. I need to get like a mount, but I need to get like an arm, and the problem is too, my camera's too heavy, so it'll drop down on it. That's the major issue. That is the major issue. I have my webcam. I can use my webcam too. It's just gonna be shittier quality. See, now I feel like I'm fucking a streamer, a video game streamer, but I don't care. Whatever you guys want. The other one's higher quality. You can see it. I use my cam link though, so that's why. But yeah, different camera angles. But I guess it doesn't matter unless I'm full screen. Also, I don't have my lights in here anymore. I don't like having giant fucking Elgato lights connected to everything. Not a fan of that. Not a fan of that. Not gonna lie, it's the ugliest shit ever. So if I'm gonna fucking buy furniture, I really don't have lights. Fucking paste it on my desk. But no, the camera angle does not do me any favors. I just don't care. And keep bouncing. There you go, your CPI. Slightly higher. I think it was expected to be 0.1% higher. I'm pretty positive. It's not a huge surprise. You're dipping down to your key level that I can already see. Yeah, right down to 20,392. That's going to be the real test. And that's what you're watching. If you watched a YouTube video yesterday, it's basically what I was saying. You had two levels you're watching. I mean, you stay below 58.30 on ES. Like, I wouldn't say necessarily you're bearish, but you look for a pullback. I mean, your previous all-time high you had, right? NQ below 20,392, probably pull back down the end. I mean, that's everything I'd be watching right now. Thoughts on Celsius? I don't really care about Celsius. If their earnings are good, then I'll be interested. But the reason why they're dropping is because of their earnings. So yeah. But yeah, Celsius is like, yeah. It's the reason. I mean, just zoom out. You're below your 200 weekly. I mean, if you get above your 200 weekly, you have a lot of room to go long. So there's no reason. But yeah, that is a nasty double top. That's one of the nastiest double tops I've ever seen. You short, as what we always say too with the double tops, as we always mention, right? What are you looking for here? Super simple. Get the double top, break the neckline. Once you break the neckline and retest, this is a daily chart, by the way, so this is a perfect example. So you break it down here. Look at that. Look at the break and retest. Perfect. Perfect example. Break, retest, continuation. You get in, set your stops wherever the fuck you want, obviously. But you have tons and tons and tons and tons of downside. Look at the downside room you had. Beautiful. Beautiful. Doesn't get better than that. But yeah, big jump in jobless claims. That's what you want. You want there to be higher jobless claims. But see, this is the problem, because you're getting info. They don't know how to interpret this information. Is that you're seeing big jumps in jobless claims, and you're seeing unemployment rates drop down 1% or 0.1%, and then you're seeing non-farm payrolls look better. Like, it's just like they don't know what to believe. Now, I don't think non-farm payrolls is a good measure lately. I think it's been completely unpredictable for the past year. I think it's been totally random. I think it's had no level of consistency. Like, there's no reason that non-farm payroll should have continued to do as good as it was doing while unemployment rose from 3.6% to 4.2%. That's crazy. Like, that's why the Fed even was like, look, like, we have to go by unemployment rates because, you know, it's fucking 4.2%. It's crazy. Morning, bro. I'm liking CrowdStrike. I think CrowdStrike still has room in the 304, 305, the 200 SMA. It's a good looking name still. Yeah, still a really good one. You had that BRB off of 285. Beautiful. It's a little pretty. Your high back here from 28th of August. You look good, but be careful around 300, 305. That's all I would say. 303, 305. Once you get over that, you have a lot of room though. So I'll be talking a lot about that on YouTube once you break above 305. Good morning, Tyler. Everybody, let's see, make some money today. Thank you, Tyler, for what you do. Explain the levels. Amen, brother. Into D2. I like that. It's like R2D2's long lost brother. MTB. What's MTB? Oh, bank. I'm not gonna really care, especially a regional bank. I'm not really not gonna care. But do what you gotta do. I'm not a fan. Not a lot of upside. Looks good, but just not a lot of upside. The market too, just inherently right now, just looks good. If you get more continuation from semis, it's really interesting too. Yesterday, I wouldn't say Nvidia really helped you too much yesterday. You had your initial move early in the morning, but Nvidia didn't do much. Now, I will say semiconductors clearly kept running. That's worth mentioning. But it was really like AVGO pushing you into all-time highs. That was incredible. Dude, if you're in Discord, I still apologize for this. I know Jay mentioned AVGO a few days ago and kept mentioning it, but I literally was sick to my stomach that I missed calling this out for you guys. God, I was sick to my. I mentioned it in trading chat and in voice chat, but I just forgot to go look at the options chain and everything like that. Like, you pulled back into 177, dude, it was sick. That was tough. That was like I made money on ARM. I can't complain, but like, yeah, this was bad. You literally went fucking parabolic, crazy. What's going on? I don't know how to pronounce your name. Gunez. PLL. People ask about PLL. I don't really care. I don't care about that. Google's been pulling back. I know that. It's 200 SMA. You're at your 200 SMA. You're at your 200 SMA. Buying opportunity, potentially. Hold your 200. You look good. That's what I'd be looking at right now. Don't overcomplicate it. Do not overcomplicate it. Okay. What's your favorite long-term play right now, and what's the strike that's appealing? I think Nvidia was the best long-term name you could have had out there. Easily, Nvidia was the best play you could have had, hands down. It was. So I mean, you asked me that a week ago. I mean, even a week ago, I would have said it down here, like for sure. There's no comparison. Now beyond that point, I think it's difficult. I think it's very difficult to say. I like Chinese names. I think there's a lot of inherent risk with those names. I'll tell you that right now. But that's the main thing. There's a lot of risk for it to be my favorite play in Chinese names. But yeah, Nvidia was the play. I would say that for like 4 months. I think I just kept saying it like Nvidia, Nvidia, even when you were down here in August and then September again. Like, I don't know. So you missed out on that one. That's tough. You had a lot of opportunities. Now from there, you just don't have a lot of things that are like presenting yourself with opportunity right now. If CrowdStrike gets above the 200 SMA, that becomes one of my top names. Like you have an instant $100 of upside potential. I mean, $60, $50, like quick. Like, so that's a really interesting one. But yeah, I think if the market really does stay healthy, I don't know how Chinese names don't perform. Because I'm telling you right now, what's gonna happen with Chinese names is you're gonna just continue to get stimulus out of China. You're just gonna continue and continue and continue and continue. They're not gonna stop. It's not gonna stop. That's just the reality of it. And it will benefit Baba, Pinduoduo, Baidu, all those names. But that's what I'm watching. That's on Zscaler. They had bad earnings like last quarter. It really hurt them. They're underperforming. You know, we had that big trade back here. You know, back in June, we talked a lot about them. You're slowly getting back to where they need to be. You're sitting in a box. You know, don't love the range. I think ranges are the most difficult thing to trade. I think they, because ultimately you want to get the breakout of said range, but you're spending like a bulk of your time like right here. You get some quick little breakouts to the downside and to the upside, but ultimately you're sitting between 190 and 165, right? If you can really mount above the daily 200 and weekly, you look good. You need earnings to go well also. But I think CrowdStrike can help ZS, okay? Because again, that's what happened back here, if you remember. I think you called it long on Home Depot back, would give me a long. I mean, I think Home Depot is great. I mean, I mentioned it on Twitter. You're at basically almost at all-time highs. You're at the all-time high range up there I was looking for. So, yeah, should be patient up here now. I mean, you're probably going to pull back a little bit, but probably buying opportunity pretty soon. So it's nice. Yeah, I called it on Twitter. Do you think there's any more buying opportunities on Palantir, or is it a pullback? Okay, I mean, I try not to be sarcastic, guys, but if you're at all-time highs, guy, what do you want me to do? Like, you're at all-time highs. I can't. What do you like? I've been saying for a long time, like, these are names that like you buy, you hold, you forget. You've grind on your 200 SMA since May 2023. You're gonna do what you got to do. But yeah, asking if there's a buying opportunity on Palantir at all-time highs, I don't know what to say. Like, and I can't tell you like, hey, there's gonna be a pull. Like, where could I logically tell you that? You know what I mean? Without being like lying and having no clue what I'm talking about. So yeah, I'm like in PayPal. PayPal was a buy at $68 and it broke 68.5 or whatever. Yeah, when you broke, and you even had a BRB back here. I called it on Twitter. If you're not following on Twitter, sorry, man. But yeah, that's what you're looking for. That break retest continuation. You got it on 68.6. I'm not buying PayPal up here. It looks good. It looks really good. Looks really, really good, but it's not a buying opportunity for me. Hun, HON. What's Hun? Honeywell. I'm not going to trade this personally. I mean, you're making higher lows, which is really nice. That's nice, but you're just sitting in a range. I mean, like you've sat in the same kind of like little trend from 210 down to lows of 170 since 2022. It's not for me. If it's a long-term name for you, like congrats, good. I don't think I don't really think it's a stock to trade personally. That's just me. Though. Oh, there you go, and keep breaking down a little bit. There you go. That's what you want to see. And you can see once you broke that 20,392 level, look how quick that break was. That's what you wanted to see. Now, this is where things get more interesting, too, because ES, you're going to come back down. I wouldn't even say it. I mean, you're going to have 5808, obviously, but I'd be looking for 5797 as much as you despise coming back into these levels. Not ideal. NQ did this was the level yesterday, though, on NQ. You like struggled here for a second before you get to break into highs or break into where you ended up having highs yesterday. So we'll see. NQ stays under 20,330. You're pushing down to 20,052. Easy, 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 easy. Thoughts on Bitcoin? Bitcoin, I mean, it's going to inevitably follow the stock market. I mean, you didn't follow it yesterday, but you will follow the stock market. So the stock market sells off. Now we can get for Bitcoin. Pro shares USD. No idea. ASML. How's ASML looking? I liked it a long time ago. Yeah, you had that little flag where you kind of broke out into 1,090, 1,080, and you dropped down. That was nice. But yeah, you gotta get back above 901 and 200 daily moving average. I don't like that the 200 moving average is so high up here, though. Don't love that. How's your Dow moving? Dow surprisingly isn't getting hit that hard. Actually, not bad. It's a really interesting thing to be watching too, because Dow was. If you remember yesterday, Dow was moving like shit. Dow was the slowest mover, like up into like 9:30 yesterday, and then Dow went crazy. If you remember, we called this out too in Discord when we were looking for that drop down into 42,070, which you didn't get. I was 30 points off, which is pretty fucking nuts, but still. And then you pushed up. And then yesterday you had this really clean action where you broke up early in the morning and then you dipped back down to like 42,450, and then you went just crazy after that. So, but Dow's holding up so far. We'll see. I mean, maybe it rolls over. I mean, bad for ES. But that's what was holding ES back, really, from helping Nasdaq the day before as well. Are you still bullish on the market with the CPI report? I think the CPI report came in exactly at expectations, even though it was slightly higher. The thing that's interesting is the job report. I think someone mentioned that. I think it was Kyrie. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, I think the job reports are the most interesting factor here. Because again, you're getting different information. You're getting information as far as non-farm payroll that shows, oh, jobs look good, and then you get a small drop. Don't get me wrong, from what's it called, from your unemployment rate. It's just it's really tough here because you're getting conflicting information, and as long as jobs remain an issue, again, the Fed are going to be happy because it's showing that the market is tightening, which is good. So yeah, you kind of it's a catch-22 here. You don't expect CPI to drop in a straight line. I don't personally. Now if you start seeing significant rises in CPI, then that's not good. But yeah, here we go. Look at your chart. I mean, like CPI is still going down pretty smooth. This is your first. I think this is your first rise. Maybe. Yeah. So you had your rise right here. Like, was this last year, December? No, this is like July. Sorry, it's fucking July, and you proceeded to start dumping. We'll see. It should drop slower as you get closer to 2%. It's the job numbers, I think, that have the bigger impact right now, in my opinion. And they're also not going to be cutting at 0.5. That's not going to happen anymore. And you're also, the other part of here too, on CPI and what's happening with inflation readings is you're not going to be getting the information on housing yet and how that's going to be benefiting it. So I'm trying to paint this picture for someone yesterday, the day before. It was Tuesday. I think it was my dad. We're talking about real estate. He's like, he's been wanting to do a bunch of stuff in Galveston. I'm just like, dude, like Galveston, if you buy anything like vacation wise, like for, yeah, like non-residential, in my opinion, like, or single homestead properties, I think it's a little bit high risk over the next 2 years, probably longer than that. But as far as buyers, I think you'll have like a surge of buyers, like I've been saying, for the next like year and a half. I think that'll happen, and it'll cool off, housing inflation, and as far as rents and what's happening there. But Yeah. Anyways, so you're gonna slowly see housing and like the rent prices and stuff drop. That's gonna take a long. That's gonna take time because you need home sales to increase. You need mortgage rates to drop. You need a lot of these things to happen. And again, if you look at if you look at yields, they are just making this more and more difficult. Like yields are making this shit more and more difficult. Like you get your, and I think a large part of this was you were just the market was pricing in your first cut, so you're just ripping down, and now you're just bouncing, but you're just getting a retracement back to the upside. So, I mean, even let's go back to fucking 2017, right? In 2017, you were kind of all over the place. You're back and forth, and then you had your taper tantrum where you went basically down to nothing. But yeah. Good morning. Have a good day. Have a good one, Sergeant Buck. Are you still? I answered the bullish question. CPI giving stagflation vibes. I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that. I mean, it's too early to call it stagflation. Again, too, telling you, jobs. I think it's just too early. It's too early to call things stagflation. Believe me, if we were getting stagflation, the Fed would be the first people to say it. And again, I think people think that the Fed are like biased as far as the election stuff, and that's like the furthest thing from the truth. That doesn't make any sense that the Fed would be biased. Just based on everything Powell has already said and done over the past like 2 years. He's literally told Biden to go like screw himself. Like I don't know if the Fed's too biased. I mean, Biden was telling Jerome Powell to cut rates for like 3 years, and Jerome was like, I'm good. Hey, man, I'm happy for you, Mo. Man, that's the goal, man. That is the goal. Shit, man. Let's see if there's any other questions I missed. I don't think I missed anything. I kind of went through all the stock plays you guys wanted me to look at. Someone said pin investing. I'm not really interested in gambling stocks, to be honest. Gambling stocks are kind of like weed stocks. People think they're going to be like explosive and like have crazy margins and upside. Gambling has better margins than weed, but I just don't think they're that interesting. They had a lot of good hype back in 2020, but it's obviously slowed down. MU. I mean, it's all right. Yeah, MU, I'm not doing nothing. You're below your 200 SMA. If you get above the real level here, I've been saying it, like, especially if you guys don't follow on TikTok, that's where I do a lot of my lives now. It's just easier. I can log on, log off. It's very casual. They do ban me often on TikTok. It's the craziest thing ever. Yeah. So you have your 200 SMA, but the safest, the best thing to do here is wait till you break above 111. You're very bullish. So yeah, you go over Zillow. I haven't been buying any more Zillow. I'll probably end up buying more when you come back down to 58, 57 and trade it again to the upside. You actually outperformed my target of 64. You went to fucking 70 basically. But yeah, I still like I like real estate names still a lot. Redfin, Open Door, long term. Spy. You're at all-time highs. I can't really say nothing. I can't say nothing here. What do you want me to say? You're just looking for a potential retest of your little previous high right here, September 26th. 26th, 574.7. Yeah, you're looking for a retest at that level. We get a bounce off of it. We'll see what happens. QQQ is a little bit more interesting here, in my opinion. If you stay above 493, 494, dude, it's interesting. Problem though here too is this level is very illiquid. We've been saying, I mean, you're creating more liquidity there, especially after this last go. But yeah, but I mean, 493, we've seen you drop quickly down. I mean, you're doing it right now. You're dropping straight down to 490.5, like pretty fucking quick. Pretty wild. ARM pulling back. Yeah, ARM pulled right back to the top of our range and came. It's so annoying, dude. I mean, 146 is still a good level. Don't get me wrong, but ARM above 149 also very bullish. Open. Again, I think if you're just playing some of these names that are cheaper, you gotta have a lot of time, or you understand the risk and like you're okay throwing money away. If you're like okay, I'm, you know, size to zero, right? You go into it like, okay, 2 months, it does good, whatever. I might reload it later on. Yeah. So that's my mentality. And I had one like on Red or Open Door that's kind of like a size for zero, which I'm fine with. I didn't anticipate the reaction you get on yields, but I think what's happened, and this is the bad part of what happens when you get very bullish in a specific direction, or you overshoot a direction. Like someone was asking, like, what do you think is gonna happen with CPI? I was like, well, there's not really there's not a great outlook on CPI no matter what, right? There's like, what could have happened from CPI to make the market rip into highs? Like, would it had to, if we would have dropped, would that have been very bullish? Like, I mean, we saw us like have, we saw us drop like from previous CPIs and kind of like just pop up and just stagnate and do nothing, right? So it's like you've already priced in this expectation of CPI to move a certain way. Okay. And we're so used to it now. But when we had our first readings of CPI, when CPI was just terrible for months and months and months, and then it started having positive outlooks, guess what happened? I mean, the market would rip and run and run and run because it was kind of out of the normal and people didn't expect it. So I think we're getting ourselves into this situation. And so I think what happened with yields is everyone was like, okay, look, we're getting our rate cut. First rate cut in 70, like how many months was it? It was since 2019, our first rate, 2020, sorry. It's like 4 years. You get your first rate cut in 4 years, which was that 48 months? I don't fucking know. A little over 48 months, most likely. I mean, of course, there's gonna be a lot of hype going into that cut, and then you get it, and then we kind of rebound back up. So we'll see. I mean, I can see the argument that yields dropped a little too drastically, for a one rate cut. I could potentially see the argument that you had this massive drop with one rate cut. You know what I mean? Now, continuation on the rate cut is going to be pretty big. So, anyways, just my thoughts, though. Just my thoughts. I think when you start overestimating and you start getting this idea set in your mind that something's going to happen, and I think the market had that. That's on Snowflake. I think is it still at lows? I mean, you can buy it if you want. Like you're buying it. I mean, you're buying it on value, like you are. Like that's cool. I think there's better cloud names out there. If you believe in them, go for it, man. This is where you buy though. So I hate to shoot people down and say like, hey, this is trash. Like if you think they're gonna come back, you think they're gonna be good, like this is a buying opportunity. Like, right? I'm not buying it. I've been buying CrowdStrike. I was very clear, adamant about this. I think CRM's even decent. CRM's been popping off. People in Discord been loving CRM. I know Discount Dining's been loving it, so you love that. But yeah. CL oil futures just started to look good again. Smaller time frames. So I really don't like looking at CL. I mean, it doesn't really matter. They call me. It's again because I've just used US oil for I don't know how long. So I just love the chart. But anyway, so like I've been using. I mean, they're gonna track each other, so it doesn't matter. It's not like I'm using USO, which doesn't track necessarily crude. So I'll go over both of them. The WTI crude is what I was looking at. So, anyways, so your level here has kind of been like 71.82, a little low you established on the 7th of August and then the 21st. You're bouncing there. Surprise, surprise. So we'll see. But you're below your 200 SMAs. I'm not like I'd be very careful here personally. That's just my opinion. I'd be very, very, very careful moving into this. But yeah. And I think Israel-Iran stuff is just so up in the air. It's just so up in the air. Like you really don't know what they're gonna do. And it honestly, that's another thing too. Is like someone did comment. They were like, I was on Twitter the other day. And guys, if you're not in Discord and stuff, I'm being genuinely like as honest as possible. Twitter is the best place you can be if you want to like still like have conversations with me and things. Like I've really tried to like get back with feedback, answer questions. Now, if you guys just send like, hey, look at this stock, then that's probably not going to happen. But like, understand this too. The more like you build a relationship, like here, you know what I mean? Like on Twitter, like you're a contributing member to society. I'm going to answer your questions more often than not. So if I see you always like providing some sort of value and you say, hey, when I do this chart request, you're like, hey, can you look at ARM? I'll chart ARM like 90% of the time. I know people are probably wondering, like, how does he choose which stocks he looks at? It's usually the people that I like the most. And as long as this chart isn't total ass. Pan W. Pan W, dude, Pan W looks good. Shout out to fucking Pelosi. That thick old bitch gets, man, she has the picks. Look at the higher lows. Higher lows. You're gonna explode. It's a good looking name. It's probably CrowdStrike. I would say CrowdStrike and Pan W are my favorite names here. CRM looks good too, but I think Pan W looks really good. It's one of those names at highs or close to highs that I still think is a great opportunity. I mean, like the pinch, how you've been moving here. I pulled all my positions yesterday, except like 3 calls in AMD, bought SPY puts. Now I'll wait for downside plays into it in a bit. I mean, I'm not trading. Don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, we're still basically at all-time highs. Like, let's not kid ourselves. Like, I mean, this is the chart. We got to go to the daily chart. I mean, we got to be honest with ourselves. We're we still look pretty good. You don't look bad. In order for me to get any type of like bearish or look at downside, you got to be below 57.82 on ES. Like, it's just like it's just the facts. Like, you're above previous all-time high. So like for me to like look for downside, it's unlikely for me. I'm not saying you can't. You can do whatever you want. That's just me. And it's, again, just from a risk reward standpoint, continuation, getting stuck in a stupid position, like for me. Tesla, Nvidia, please. But again, I'm not like, again, that's just like, again, I'm not, people get mad. They think I'm like running. I'm not running anyone down. I'm just like explaining my logic, what I think. Because I know eventually people will ask the same question, like, hey, why do you think we're still running? I'm like, well, this is why. Tesla, I think Tesla looks like absolute dog water. Not gonna lie right now. I think it looks pretty trash right now. You're above your 200 weekly though. It's nice. If I think what's his name? Colin. So Colin on Twitter. I like Colin. Colin's a nice guy. Hey, we gotta have our boomers, eh? Where's it at? Yeah. I think this sentence was pretty true. I think this tweet was a pretty good thought right here. So I don't think I'm being hyperbolic at all when I say tomorrow is the most important event in Tesla's history. In my opinion, they are going to be unveiling the future of the company, both in tech and revenue. I agree. This is a true statement. And why is it a true statement? Well, it's a true statement because Elon Musk has mentioned robo-taxis at the last like 10 earnings calls for like 3. I could go back to 2020. He was mentioning robo-taxis. So yeah, it's a very, very true statement. That being said, if this event doesn't go great, if it does not go, it needs to go good. Okay. It doesn't need to be like if it's Cybertruck Part 2 where you throw a fucking rock at the window and it shatters, it's not good news. That is not good news. But I think it's good long term. No matter what, it's gonna be good long term for Tesla, right? Because you're finally seeing what they're unveiling there, what the future of what. It's not just gibberish what Elon was talking about for fucking investors. Don't care about what you're just randomly saying. They care about like facts, proof, numbers, like what's actually gonna happen, right? Like we can see it with Nvidia, Blackwell. We know the crazy part with Nvidia is like you know the Blackwell chip produces infinite amount of money. It's like it's fucking the Infinity Stone. It's instead of 5, you just need 1 for Nvidia. You just got 1. It's the Blackwell chip. You just make limitless amounts of money. Would you just everyone buys your chip, right? We know that it's an infinite money printer right now, but they just can't mass produce it. So investors are just like, well, that's an issue. Well, we'll buy some dips, but that's about it. We're not going crazy here. And that's what's happening on Nvidia. Now, Jensen comes out. People are like, why is Nvidia going up like this? Well, spoiler alert, the fucking CEO of Nvidia just said that they're ready to start producing and it's looking like it's going to be fully mass produced going into Q4 of this year. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Which was supposed to be done in 2025. So that's what investors care about. So when we go to Tesla, if they come out like, okay, this will be ready by 2026, right? You're going to get downside. It's going to be what happens with the robo-taxi shit. Sorry. Like, okay. It'll be a buying opportunity at that point, though. Inflation back on the mini boys. Time for those bears to feast. Yo, Benji. Hot take. Hot take. Said inflation's back. We're still at all-time highs. Oh my god. Oh my god. That's a hot take, man. Hot freaking take. Yeah, you're sitting on. I hate deleting my levels because I just go redraw them all. It's a little bit of a bitch. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was watching this level right here as well. Anyways, but yeah, now you're sitting below 58.21. Again, dude, I'm telling you, I think you're coming down like to 57.97. Where's it at? Yeah, like 57.97 on ES. I'm trolling. I don't know, man. Yeah, I have to be careful. Some of these people really come in my chat talking about bears. I'm like, what are we talking about? So yeah, Nvidia's dropping to $90. I'm like, okay, all right, that's enough outside time for you. That's it. Also, too, this weekend, guys, I'm about to get off. I need to make the pre-market right now for Discord. What was I gonna say? Dude, this week, dude, your games you got this week, incredible. We got LSU. I'm gonna give you all the old Lockerooski before I go, because I'm a nice guy. Shout out to the Mets, by the way. Don't know how they did it. Beautiful. Let's look real quick. I'm staying pretty overall bullish until things change. And we get below our key levels, yes. Okay, let's run through some quick games for the week. Okay. Don't really care. I mean, Alabama, they should beat South Carolina, but who really knows? And if Alabama does not bench that corner, I am sorry. That is the craziest thing that I've ever seen. If they do not bench their captain corner, he should be on the bench riding the pine. That was embarrassing. Okay, Texas, Oklahoma. A great game. Red River, eh? Everyone's like, this game's usually it is usually really close. But this year, it's natty year. This is natty year. You see that? That's the greatest game ever played. This is natty year. We're going Texas, smoke show. It's not even going to be close. Oklahoma sucks. Okay. Oh, okay. Next game, Penn State, USC. I was high on USC. That Minnesota loss was tough. Penn State is going. This is if you're a betting man, this is what you do in the Penn State game. You're gonna take two bets. This is what you're gonna do. You're gonna bet. It's very simple. Nick Singleton rushing yards. Penn State to win. Second bet. Who's their other? It's Katron Allen. Penn State to win. They're both 2-leg parlays, but you just take it. That's all you do. That's all you do. Okay, it should be around plus like 175. So you'll make money no matter what. Anyways, Penn State, USC. Penn State's gonna run the ball down their throat. Mark my words. They might both get 100 rushing yards. It is totally possible. Next up, what's the other big one? Tennessee, Florida. Is this even a big game? Like, is it? Like, I mean, Tennessee should curb on Florida. They're playing in Tennessee. That's a blowout. Ohio State, Oregon. This is a good one. This is probably game of the week. It should be. This is going to be close. Ohio State should murder Oregon. They really, really, really should. I have to take Ohio State. I think -3 is actually criminal as well. And I think under 53 is actually logical too, but we'll see. Oregon does have a vet QB, Dylan Gabriel, comes from Oklahoma. I think he's trash, but he's vet. He's probably better than on paper Will Howard. So it should be a good game. Ohio State should win. Ole Miss, LSU. If you like scoring, you go watch this game. If you like scoring, this is your game of the week. They're probably going to score 70 points. Under 60 is crazy. They're going to be. Ole Miss is one of the most undisciplined teams, but LSU is the most undisciplined team. So that is your bet there. Over. Crazy. Colorado, Kansas State. This is crazy. This is the craziest line of the week. If I was gonna bet my mortgage on something, if I was betting my mortgage on anything, guys, this is the game. This is the craziest thing I've ever seen in my life. They have this is bizarre. They got Kansas State -4 versus Colorado. And I get it. Colorado does have a chance to make it to the playoffs if they win out. If Colorado wins this game, they're going to make it to the playoffs, which is really wild to say. Or they're going to make a Big 12 championship. That's crazy. So this is probably the most important game of the week, but I don't see a world in which Colorado wins. Honestly, I would be hammering the rushing yards as well from Kansas State. Yeah, dude, this is crazy. Yeah, Avery Johnson, hammer. Rushing yard. It should be like at 50 yards, hammer. DJ Giddens, this guy, dude, little tank, Frank the Tank. So anyways, you're welcome. What I'm looking for here, though, going into today, ES continuation down to 57.97. That's what you want to see. You break and hold below 58.21, you look good. But as long as you're below 58.30, you're looking for the downside. NQ, just bear flagging here in the open. Yeah, so that's my opinion. The only thing that saves you on upside, only thing that could save you is, yep, you guessed it, semiconductors. If semiconductors go crazy, but semiconductors are definitely pulling back. I mean, NVIDIA came into a massive level. You're also watching NVIDIA right here, 131.24. It's your little previous high from over here. Yeah, right here, August 23rd. As long as you hold that, you look fine on NVIDIA. Under that, I can see sellers trying to step in back towards 129, 128. So what I'd watch for, what I'd look for, that's what I'd be watching. Below 5,800. I think 59. Fuck, I can't speak. 58.97. There's a 57.97 your level. We've seen the test. I mean, granted, you usually get a little push up a little bit further, but 57.97 has been a brick wall. If you go to smaller time frames, you can really see it too. But my opinion. See you later, guys. Got to make the pre-market right now for Discord. Hasta luego.